Welcome back to Daniel on the Road with me, Daniel Torres. Today you'll get to see Small Beer's craft brewery in London with me. Don't forget to listen to the full episode after the video.
So you're now stood in South Bermondsey, one stop from London Bridge, in the world's first brewery dedicated to the production of mid-strength beer. So my business partner Felix and I set this up years ago. But our intention was to produce beer for those who love good beer, love the sociability that comes with good beer. And I promise we'll try some later.
That's what I came for. So in 2017, we moved into this space having really, this was it from the very beginning. The space was, it was a very old warehouse, a little bit dilapidated, cracked floor. We had to build everything from scratch, effectively. Including, of course, all the brewing kit, but also the bar and the offices, and everything was
So it is your brewery,
really new.
your office, your bar?
Yeah, and our homes, we virtually look at.
If anyone's seeing this, you have to listen to the podcast. And all these things are fermentation vessels.
So from the stairs, so to the left-hand side of the stairs, the whole room is filled with fermentation vessels. So we have 12 of those.
Yeah.
And then to the right-hand side of the stairs is what we call the brew house. So that's where the hot process of brewing, actively making the wort, the unfermented beer, happens. So it's WORT.
Okay.
And that is basically barley juice. So we're juicing the barley to create this unfermented beer. Then from that point on, and we flavor that barley juice with hops. And then from that point on, we add the yeast and we allow that fermentation to kick in. And then that's how we make the beer. But that's a very broad process.
Yeah.
Actually, every step of the way is done with utmost precision, and care and attention. But yeah, so I designed all this brewing kit, and we designed all, the way that the space works, the way it all works. And that, the other side of things, so one element was to save water. The other side of things was really to make the very best small beer that the world had ever tasted.
Where did the idea of doing a small beer come from again?
So small beer is historic. The concept of drinking 2% beer is new to the world now.
Yeah.
But actually, if you go back a couple of hundred years, it was pretty commonplace.
You said it was commonplace.
People were drinking small beer instead of water. Because the water quality improved, there wasn't really a necessity for small beer anymore. Also, we had other drinks that came in, tea, for instance. And I guess it was something that was really, at the time of the British Empire, it was something that was affordable for the upper echelons of society. But you and I wouldn't be drinking tea.
Yeah. Obviously came from India and so on.
Exactly.
So maybe I would. So wow. Look.
This is after the mash is completed.
Wow.
But that, when you look at the 90s and the early noughties, those ABVs were going up because there was a sort of premiumization, this concept that the stronger the beer was,
the better quality it was.
Exactly. And that's a complete fallacy. That's not true at all. It really comes down to the quality of the ingredients, the care that's taken in making the beer.
Show me what's here.
So this is the mash tun, and this is really the central part of what we do here at the brewery. So this is the first stage for us of brewing, effectively, where we're combining the grain. So in this case, malted barley, but we also use some oats, we use some wheat and some rye. So all of the grain is malted. So it's already been, so if you imagine the grain is growing in the field on like a grass, then you take the grain, you dry it out, and then you store it. So it has to go through dormancy. When you allow that seed to germinate, the starch gets broken down into sugars.
Okay.
And those sugars are what we want, because that's what we feed to the yeast, and then the yeast converts the sugar into alcohol.
Wow.
So this process here in the mash tun is where we're converting the starches into sugars. So the mash is this combination of grain and water.
Yeah.
Basically makes like a porridge.
Yeah.
And then throughout, you leave that to rest for an hour. And during that hour, the starches in that porridge are being converted into sugars. And the whole mash becomes a little bit looser and easier to work with. Throughout the boil, we add in hops. And the hops are there for flavoring.
The hops.
Through this.
You open it up and
You open it up, we throw the hops.
Wow.
Yeah. The hops give you bitterness, they give you flavor and aroma. So at the end of the hour of boiling, you end up with this boiling hot wort.
Yeah.
Right? We've got like 5,000 liters of boiling hot wort. So we have to cool that down. So we run it through a heat exchanger. At this stage, we add the yeast.
Uh-huh.
And the yeast starts to ferment
Okay.
that sugary, the wort.
Yeah.
And it turns it into beer as it's fermenting. After that, the yeast settles down,
Okay.
and then at that point,
And that's after 2 weeks.
and look, you could cut corners, but at the end of the day, our process is actually longer than most breweries these days. But it means that we end up with a really, really high quality product.
Yeah. How much beer can you get done in here every week?
So in a single day, we make about 5,000 liters.
Okay.
The total fermentation capacity of the brewery is 100,000 liters.
Okay.
So in a week, we typically make about 20,000 liters, around that.
You've seen it in brew, now it's time to taste beer. So this is our Easy IPA. Now, interestingly, this is the beer that we sell most of in Yonkers. So throughout the pub, restaurants. Oh, really?
Nice.
Goodness me, look at that. So when you have a little taste of that, you'll get this beautiful mango, guava, passion fruit. It's juicy, it's tropical, it's lychee.
Smells good.
Yeah. But this is just out of reach. Yeah. I love coriander, by the way. Yeah. So good.
Thanks for having us here today. It's been great. Such a pleasure. I see how the beer is done, and I see the space, which is amazing. And now I know I can have my wedding here as well if I need to. And for letting me taste all these beers. So it was my pleasure.
We'll look for hosting the big